Welcome to the show. BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am the host, Brandon Janeau. Like always, on all podcast platforms everywhere. BrandonJaneauShow. Social media platforms: Instagram, Threads, Brandon Janeau, Facebook, The Brandon Janeau Show, and TikTok, Brandon Janeau Show. Man, go uh, follow me on all of those social media platforms. Appreciate all you on TikTok that's been following or liking the vids and everything. Appreciate it. Um, yeah. So yeah. Um, Really, where you go though is the YouTube channel. I've been trying to get back to doing my YouTube channel a little bit more, doing the shorts. I haven't done one today. I should. So hopefully I get that done. But let's get into it, man. This is I Believe Sports. Now, I already did my weekly episode, but started something last week, and I've been doing kind of like the '90s theme. So tonight is exactly the same. It's just I took basketball, which is the NBA Finals going on right now with the Thunder and the Pacers. So I decided to take my '90s, my favorite '90s players, my players in the '90s, and I decided to pretty much uh, list my top 10 '90s basketball players. Just like I was doing with music, I'm doing it now with basketball. So last week I did the '90s teams. This is the '90s basketball players. So you already know. I go from 10 to 1. If you don't know, I do my top 10 list. I go to 10 and 1, 10 and 1. Talk about why they're on my list. Why do I have them why do I have them on the list? It is very simple. If you don't like how the list is going, very simple. Create your own damn list. It's very simple. Pull up a pen, get out a pad, and write down your damn list. Cause yeah. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, man. Starting off this list at number 10 is the one, the only, Scottie Pippen. Yeah, Scottie Pippen is at number 10. I know that's gonna rattle some people on social media. Six-time champion with the Chicago Bulls. Um, he even had a stint once he left. Once the Bulls situation ended, he even had a stint in Houston in '99 with the Rockets. But most people know him for being the greatest wingman, the greatest two to ever lace up some basketball shoes. Man, Scottie Pippen. Um, there's always a debate on Scotty and Scotty. You know, when they talk about the greatest of all time debate, they try to sit here and try to act like uh Mike having Scotty is like a disadvantage. When the actuality is like they built team camaraderie with each other. They're literally the greatest duo of all time in basketball history. Winning six titles is damn near impossible. Having two three-peats is incredible. Scotty the last couple of years have kind of tried to like push back on the narrative like of that, but at the same time, it's like, bro, Scotty, bro, you've always been a wingman. When they try to give you to be the guy, the one year that you still had Horace Grant still there, you still had Horace Grant, you still had residue from the championship winning teams. Yeah, you got them to the Eastern Conference semifinals and you lost to the Knicks. That's just facts. But to sit here and act like he's not one of the greatest to ever do it is ridiculous, and especially in the '90s with Mike, different caliber, bro. So Scotty is at number 10. Like I said, no, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "What the hell? Why is he just so low?" Listen, six rings, but yet I can't put you above the actual players that was more impactful and leaders of the team than you were. Just gotta be honest. Number 9, Patrick Ewing. Yep, Patrick Ewing is at number 9. The piece of the New York Knicks in the 90s. I mean, literally, yeah, I know they had John Starks and they had also Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason and Greg Anthony coming off the bench and you had all those guys and awesome, great, whoop de freaking do. But Patrick Ewing was and always has been the driving force of that New York Knicks team since he was drafted number one overall in '85. No, '87, I think. Yeah. No, 85, 80, 85, 86. One of the two. I can't remember. Because Jordan was drafted in '84. I think he came out like the year after Jordan, or the 2 years after Jordan. But yeah, Patrick Ewing is one of the greatest centers to ever do it, but he doesn't get his credit because he's never won. And that's just the truth. He just never won. I mean, the man was a dominant force in Georgetown. Like people forget, like he was one of the highest recruits in high school, one of the top recruits in high school when he went into college. And then he goes to the Big East and wins what, a national championship? I think he won two, but I think he only won one. But his freshman year, he got to the NCAA championship game and lost to Michael Jordan, which would become a recurring theme through his career. If anybody should hate someone for the career accomplishments not being seen at the top, it should be Patrick Ewing to Michael Jordan. This shit is ridiculous. This man beat him in college. When they got to the league, this nigga kept beating them in the NBA. Just like, yo, Jordan was this nigga's like literally like pathway stopper. Like this nigga was his fucking blockade. Like this is, oh my god. If anybody hates somebody for career decisions, Patrick Ewing should hate Michael Jordan, not Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas at least won titles. What Michael Jordan was still in his era. Patrick Ewing didn't win shit because of Michael Jordan. Like I'm talking about like college or NBA. That nigga should hate Michael Jordan for real, for real. Put that nigga on a poster and be like, this is the number one enemy in my entire life. This is ridiculous. Patrick Ewing should have at least a couple of rings right now. And he doesn't have them because Michael Jordan was in the Eastern Conference. And somebody else that I'll talk about later on. But yeah, man, Patrick Ewing is at number nine, man. I can't believe him and Scottie Pippen, Michael and Scottie Pippen are like should be like Patrick Ewing's like what the six centers or some shit that they do. Yeah, that Michael Jordan is number one with a bullet with Patrick Ewing. This nigga kept this man from winning championships in college and in the NBA. That's ridiculous. That's freaking ridiculous. But Patrick Ewing is at number nine for me. Number eight, number eight, Gary Payton, the glove. Yes, Gary Payton is at number goddamn eight. You goddamn right he is. This man is one of the what he was what the last guard to win defensive player of the year. I'm talking about like that wasn't like a 6'4", 6'6", some type guard or something like that. He was the last point guard, I know that, to win defensive player of the year. Until what Marcus Smart did it just like a couple years ago. That's crazy. Like the fact that that award has been a big man award and he won that shit is crazy. In the '90s, by the way. I want you to understand. In the '90s, he won that shit in the '90s. Yeah. Yeah. What Michael Jordan and the Patrick Ewings and the Shaquille O'Neals and the bro, like yeah, he won in the '90s, bro. Like, come on, bro. Gary Payton was Seattle basketball for a very long time. I mean, when him and Sean Kemp was together, that duo got to the NBA Finals, lost, of course, to the Chicago Bulls. I talked about that last week. The Seattle Supersonics, how great that season was, the 1995-96 season. Getting to the NBA Finals, their only time they got to the NBA Finals as the Supersonics in the '90s. But with that team, you had Sean Kemp and him, and then him and Vin Baker eventually would team up. But Gary Payton is one of the greats, man. I think people don't really give him his proper credit But that man at that time, his career, legendary, man. Like, I'm a huge Seattle Supersonics fan, still to this day. Kind of has lended itself into why I love the OKC Thunder so goddamn much. Because it's just Seattle. It's Seattle Supersonics. I wish they would bring back the Seattle Supersonics so much. But Gary Payton is one of the greatest defensive players in NBA history. And yeah, and he also has an NBA championship. He just got it in the 2000s. So yeah. Number 7, Charles Barkley. Yeah, Charles Barkley. I don't think people understand how great Charles Barkley really was. I think we see him on TV so much, and we've grown up on Charles Barkley being a TV personality that we have not really fully understood how great Charles Barkley truly fucking was. He's one of them too that also was in the 90s and got stymied by the Michael Jordan effect. Um, Charles Barkley was incredible. Won an MVP in 1993. Yeah, 93. Won the MVP in 93. Led the Phoenix Suns to one of the last NBA Finals appearances up until 2021 when they got to the NBA Finals to play against the Milwaukee Bucks. He was the leader of that team. I mean, the man damn near. I mean, he had a chance. He had a chance to kind of uh, beat Michael Jordan. I mean, just couldn't get it done. But Charles Barkley is one of the greatest to ever do it, man. One of the greatest power forwards um, in NBA history. Like I said, just if he had a ring, we'd be talking about Charles Barkley differently. I truly believe that the way the man played um, was kind of like a modern day guy now. Like he would be a center now in the NBA, which is the craziest shit on the planet. He would be a center now in the NBA. That's fucking nuts. Like the way he was like a stretch four then. He would shoot jumpers and hit threes and shit. People forget Charles Barkley was that man. Charles Barkley was different, bro. Charles Barkley was different, bro. So yeah, Charles Barkley could stretch out, hit threes, all that shit, catch you off the dribble. He was different, bro. Like, bro, he would be a stretch four, maybe center now. Like, yeah, Charles Barkley was different. Number 6, John Stockton. The man leads literally every category for guards outside of maybe what? The man leads damn near every category. Steals and assists. He is the NBA leader in assists and steals. When somebody, I think I saw somebody be like, I was like, yo, y'all literally don't understand. John Stockton is literally the leader in steals and assists in the NBA history on one of these videos. And continuously, people still like my comment on this video because of the fucking facts. Like, these young kids really do believe that basketball started when they started watching it. It's like, no, motherfucker, we've been watching basketball since we were kids too, nigga. We know what we're talking about. I think these kids believe that just because you're athletic today, that doesn't mean that means that everybody that you in the past that played don't have the same like ability that these kids do today. Just because you athletic, motherfucker, don't mean you the best. I don't know the fuck that. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Because there's a stupid ass thing. Somebody that says I was like, "Oh, Kyrie Irving's better than John Stockton." It's like, huh? I'm sorry, what you just say? Y'all think because the motherfucker can handle the basketball and dribble, he's the greatest player on the basketball court? That's fucking crazy to me. John Stockton is a leader in NBA assists and steals career. He got to the NBA Finals 2 times. Same thing. Just ran into the Bulls with Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. Just ran into the Bulls. And also, he played in a really tough West. Like I just said, the Seattle Supersonics, the Phoenix Suns, the shit Portland Trailblazers were good at one point. You had the Houston Rockets for 2 years, had a stretch of just dominance in the Western Conference. Like like the West was hard, motherfucker. Like that shit was a hard ass conference to get out of. Even then, you think now it's hard to get out the West. It was damn near impossible to get out the fucking West in the 90s. Like you had multiple fucking teams. You had the Jazz, you had the Supersonics, you had the Blazers, you had the shit. The Spurs didn't catch fire until like the late 90s with Duncan Robinson, and then they drafted Tim Duncan. Like they didn't even catch fire. The Timberwolves with Kevin Garnett, they didn't even catch fire. Like, bro, John Stockton and Karl Malone had to go through some shit to get to where they are today. So yeah. All right. So I'll get to the top five. Gotta recap it. Number 10, Scottie Pippen. Number 9, Patrick Ewing. Number 8, Gary Payton. Number 7, Charles Barkley. And number 6, John Stockton. And number 5, it is Shaquille O'Neal. Oh, yeah. I don't think people understand how good Shaq was in the early 90s. Like, I know we see Shaq now, and we like, oh, yeah, Shaq was dominant in the 2000s. Shaq was scarier in the 90s. Like, he was scarier in the 90s. This nigga would rebound the ball and then dribble the ball up the court like it was nothing. And nobody's standing in front of that. No one was trying to take that damn charge on. Shaq was Giannis before Giannis. Like I tell people, like people don't understand like how fucking great Shaq was. Shaq was Giannis before Giannis, nigga. The moment Shaq got into the league, the Orlando Magic went to 50 fucking wins. The moment that this nigga entered into the league as a rookie, they won 50 fucking games, bro. It's different. It's different caliber city. They won 20 the year before, and they won 30 games more the year Shaq entered as a rookie. Shaq was different, bro. Shaq was different. Shaq was different. He was different. It's okay to admit he was different. Shaq was different, bro. Got to the playoffs. They ended up getting Penny Hardaway. They ended up getting Penny Hardaway with that Orlando Magic team. Ended up getting Horace Grant, and they were off to the races, man. Orlando Magic in the 90s. Imagine what they would have been if Shaq would have stayed. I don't know if Penny gets hurt because then maybe the injuries don't happen to him because you have Shaq there. But Shaq then leaves Orlando and goes to the Lakers with Kobe. And then people forget, like in the 90s, it took a minute. But once Kobe and Shaq kind of got their chemistry right, you think the 2000 season was one thing. Bro, that had been brewing for a minute. But Shaq in the 90s was different. He got to NBA Finals his second year in the league. No, third year in the league. Got to the NBA Finals his third year in the league, bro. That is unfucking real. That's unreal. He got to the NBA Finals his third year in the league, bro. Like unreal, man. Unfucking real. Unfucking real. He got put on the NBA 50 greatest players of all time list. What, his third, fourth year in the league? Shaq was different, bro. Shaq was different. And number 4, Reggie Miller. I cannot explain the respect and love I have for Reggie Miller, man. I have so much love and respect for Reggie Miller. He is one of my favorite players of all time. The reason why I love Steph Curry so much is because of Reggie Miller. I grew up a huge Indiana Pacers fan because of Reggie Miller. Like one reason is because he wore 31, which is my birthday, January 31st. So he wore 31, so I was always a fan of that. And then just him shooting the fucking ball. And I wasn't a big guy. I wasn't Michael Jordan. I wasn't gonna, sky through the air. So shooting was always my shit. So Reggie Miller was always my favorite player. Yes, even when I was watching play against Jordan, I would root for Reggie Miller. I would root for Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was always my favorite player. Still is to this day. He's like, if I had to pick like the greatest basketball players to me, is Reggie Miller on that list. Reggie's on that list. Reggie's on that list. He just don't have a ring. If he would have had a ring, we'll be talking about Reggie Miller like we talk about Steph Curry. Like he changed the game because he was Steph before Steph. Now he wasn't shooting damn near 50-foot shots and shit, but you didn't want the ball in his hand at the end of the fucking game. That was like you playing Russian roulette. Like you was like, anybody but him. That was anybody but him. If we get close, anybody but him. Reggie was that dude, bro. This man scored 8 points in like 30 seconds. Do you understand that shit? How crazy that sounds? The man hit a three, was down with three, turned around, got a steal, turned around, hit another three, hit two free throws, and ended the game. Dude was different, man. Reggie Miller has and always will be different. He's one of my favorite players of all time. I know people sit there and say, why he Ford? Why not Scotty? Why not? To me, my list, Reggie Miller is the greatest player to ever do it, man. And he's at number 4. The only reason why he's not high enough is because he doesn't have a ring. That's all. That's all. But he is 4th. And number 3, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Yep. Yep. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon is number 3. When people compare centers with skills, he gets brought up a lot. He gets brought up a lot. I remember a couple years ago, maybe a decade ago now, when Dwight Howard first came to Houston, and they were trying to, and Hakeem Olajuwon was teaching him how to get the post moves right because he just didn't know how to do it. Now that shit clearly didn't work. But when I hear people sit there and say, "Oh, the Joker is the greatest center," look at his footwork, look at this, look at, bro, you don't know how good Hakeem Olajuwon was. The Dream Shake would fuck over these kids today. You athletic, but you ain't that fucking athletic. You're not defensively sound to stop Hakeem Olajuwon. If he actually started to do the Dream Shake on your ass, you would be done. You would get fucked over. He would hit you so fast with that shit. You'd be just sitting there like, okay, you know what? This is ridiculous. And then he was a defensive guy. Like he can stop you too. He was a defensive player too. I think he even won a defensive player of the year. I can't remember. But like, yo, Hakeem Olajuwon was the fucking dude, bro. And he won 2 rings with the Houston Rockets. Like, bro, it's different. Shit, he even won 1 ring when I think he was like the 4th, 5th, 6th seed, some shit like that. He won. Like I said, the West was hard, bro. The West was a hard ass conference back even in the '90s, bro. So yeah, I'm not too shocked that when people talk about centers nowadays with skill level, he's the first one you bring up in that situation because he was different, bro. Hakeem Olajuwon was fucking different. The man would tap the ball so softly and just be like, man, you know what, bro? Yeah, Hakeem Olajuwon is one of the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest centers. Can't even touch it. The reason why he's not at number 2 is because he just isn't the mailman. And at number 2 is Karl Malone. Karl Malone is at number 2 on my list. I know a lot of people sit there and say, so Reggie Miller's at 4 and Karl Malone's at number 2. Neither one of these men have won championships. Why are they on the list? That high when Scotty's at 10. Because Karl Malone is the 3rd leading scorer in NBA history. The 3rd leading scorer in NBA history is Karl Malone. Karl Malone is one of the greatest power forwards to ever do it. The man was different. Again, if he just never played in the era of Michael Jordan, he probably would have a ring or two. He probably would have a ring or two on his resume. Same thing with John Stockton. Again, playing in that tough West, that was hard, man, to win anything out of that West. It took them years to just get to the NBA Finals because of all of the teams that was in the West. Like I said, the Houston Rockets from '94 to '95 had a run. You had the Trailblazers early in the '90s. You had, of course, uh, yeah, the Trailblazers early in the '90s. You had the Phoenix Suns with Charles Barkley in the '90s. You had the Supersonics with them. It was hard to get them to the NBA Finals with '97 and '98. The Jazz had been building that team for years. It just never could materialize. But Karl Malone is one of the greatest basketball players to ever do it, like Charles Barkley. But the only reason why Karl Malone is higher to me on this list is because Karl Malone really was different. Like he was fucking different. That's why I always say, like, y'all, when we talk about greatness, power forward wise, I love KG, Tim Duncan, Chris Webber, the 2000 power forwards in the West, especially Rasheed Wallace and Dirk Nowitzki. But they had to go through Karl Malone. Like, you know how hard that shit is? Karl Malone was different, bro. But at number one, who the fuck else would be number one on this list? Why are we gonna beat around the bush? It is Michael goddamn Jordan. Are you serious? Michael Jordan is number one. 6 rings, what? 5 Defensive Player of the Years, 6 NBA Finals MVPs. He is fifth in the NBA in career scoring. The man is different. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. He will always be the greatest basketball player of all time. And nothing's gonna change that. Nothing's gonna change that. I'm sorry to tell y'all. And I didn't even really see Mike like that. But I can tell you, when you hear stories of people that played against Michael Jordan and they say, one of the best stories I've ever heard is Byron Scott. Byron Scott says he went up, when Michael Jordan found out he wasn't playing in the game because he was hurt. And he told him his replacement, he was like, oh, easy, 50. Tell this man to his face, he gonna drop 50 on this dude. Byron Scott said, I went to Anthony Pillar. It was like, hey man, listen, hey, I just talked to Mike. Yeah, he's telling us he just told me he gonna drop 50 on you tonight. Like, you can't do shit about it. Like the fact that he would literally walk into people's locker rooms and tell them, lace up your shoes real tight. Lace up your shoes real tight. It's gonna be a long night for you. When people were afraid to talk shit to a man, that's different, bro. You different, man. Like people was afraid. Bob Scott said, you don't talk to Michael Jordan. You tell Mike like good game, good shot, Mike. That's what you when you hear people say that shit, it's just true, bro. Like his aura, his playing ability, everything about Mike was different, bro. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I don't give a shit what nobody says. It's different, man. Different levels, man. When people tell you shit like that, yeah, it's different. Mike is the greatest basketball player of all time. There's nobody that can ever touch that. Respect to LeBron, respect to Kobe, man, but like Mike was just different. Mike was just different. He was just different. So yeah, and that is the list. And number one. Now let me recap before I get off this list. Number one, Michael Jordan. Number two, Karl Malone. Number three, Hakeem Olajuwon. Number four, Reggie Miller. Number five, Shaquille O'Neal. Number six, John Stockton. Number seven, Charles Barkley. Number eight, Gary Payton. Number 10, number nine, Patrick Ewing. Number 10, Scottie Pippen. That is it. That is all. Next week, I'm keeping it in the 90s with the sports. We're going football. We're going football in the 90s, man. Can't wait for this one. It's going to be pretty fucking interesting. Um, But I'll talk to you guys soon. Until next time, I'm Brandon Janeau. This is I Believe Sports. Peace.